It might not happen today, but all the work that you've been putting in up until now is still worth it. Even if you don't see the results at this very moment, you keep working anyway. You don't get to quit because the crowd seems quiet on supporting you. Gotta look at it like this. The ones not paying attention right now, they ain't no distraction. You ain't on their radar, and so they ain't got no reason to interrupt or interfere with you handling your responsibilities. You gotta know that that's support too. That's perspective. You might need to stop looking at it as a something negative and start realizing that you're going to have to build what you envisioned on your own. You've been thinking and saying and feeling ignored and not included for being independent. You're taking that as them not being interested. But you're wrong. Because they see you. They're in awe and in absolute agreement and appreciation. They wish they could help and be part of your inevitable success, but God won't let them participate because they'll try to supply intel and input that isn't going to do anything but pause your progress and have you procrastinate trying to explain your process. Don't you worry about where they're at, because the universe has them waiting for you to finish, or to at least get what you're supposed to get out of having to get by yourself, to get serious, to get dirty, to get focused, to get out of you what would have usually gotten you to walk away from being consistent. The last time, and that other time, and at one time you had the right idea, you shared and shopped it with the wrong people. They started telling you the way that they would it, and you listened. And the next thing you know, you didn't know no more. You didn't know if you should, if you would, or if you could, and they doused your dream with so much doubt that it diluted your determination. You got distracted and delayed, and then you started deliberating about what God had already decided and declared was your direction. But you didn't go no more. Act like you didn't. You keep saying that you need a real friend and someone that cares about you to stand in your corner and tell you the absolute truth. Well, I'm here. Act like this isn't. Act like you ain't the main one stopping you from starting. Like it ain't you stalling. And it ain't you saying the stuff to yourself that has caused most of the stress and stupidity that you responded not so well to. It's you that ain't the serious that you need to be. And what you don't see is how the superstars and the celebrities behind every successful story that you used as inspiration is going to say the same thing, that they went through a similar stage themselves and how they got through this hell too. You and your story ain't no different. What is meant for you is meant for you. It was designed and designated for you to make happen. You have to do what you have to do. That includes the discipline, the not getting discouraged and distracted because of a little disappointment, but it's destined. It's developing, but you ain't missed it. Don't let the idea and perception of what looks like you ain't doing enough based on what somebody else looks like they are doing. Don't let that ruin your guaranteed chances of success, because you're paying attention to a performance, a perfect picture painted over the same pain and problems that are a part of your plan. But you pulling out or not participating because this ain't playing out like the fairy tale that you pretended it was. That is what I would not suggest, because you're right there. Not almost or close. You're more than on your way. You're doing and being exactly what you are supposed to do and be the thing that only you can. That's why they are not here, or they are not helping or having a more participatory role and responsibility in the way that your dream is supposed to work, because only you can. You have to know that. You're being led by your spirit and the sound of success that is guiding you towards it. But when you don't learn the lesson that you had every opportunity to learn the last time, then you will repeat the level. That's why you have to go back. That's why it feels like you've done this before, told this story, seen this happen, and had to go through something similar. Because you do know how this goes. You just tried to prove that you could do what had to be done a different way. You decided that they were worth you doing it with, and you did everything to prove that they were going to do it with you, even if you had to do the most to get them to get on board with what you were doing. Didn't you? And how'd that work out? It didn't. Because of what you didn't. Not because of a them or a they or a that, but because them, they, and that have nothing to do with this. You ain't on your quest because you're asking already answered questions like, if this is possible, then stop asking yourself what you already know, because it is. You just have to stick with it. Stick to it. Not get stuck or stay down, or even worse, stop because of a reaction or a result that you don't see. You're worried about the wrong things, like the way they would have done what you are already doing. And why? They are in a world that you won't be. Because where you are is in this to win. Not to wonder, not to wait, and not to hurry. Because you got something to prove. And you got something to lose. But you know what you got to do. So you don't got to worry. Just stick with it.